Yeah. Hello, everyone listening. Welcome to an edition of Riots Connect and Inspire. With this time again a DJ set, but also an interview, a talk with a guest, Bastienne or Basje, I think. Welcome in Groningen. Welcome at Relate.
Thanks.
Super nice you're here. I'm super happy to have her. I think we didn't really met before we met each other at fake events here. You played there, and then we talked for half an hour in the backstage. And it was really nice. I of course knew you from the scene in Amsterdam, and you also played for us last week at the Hintergarten. So I already knew you a little bit better, and I'm super happy you're here today.
And I think we met one time earlier when you were stage manager for Jeff Mills, I believe.
Oh my God, yes, that's so true.
Yeah, very random night. I don't know how I ended up there, but...
This was... what was it called? In Martini Plaza? Yeah,
I think so, yeah. It was a big hall.
Did you play for Tresor?
No, I didn't play there. I ended up there after playing for Kopjak, I think.
Oh.
Maybe it was something like that. And then somehow I ended up somewhere because Carolina, she said like, hey, Jeff Mills is playing. Come by. And there you were.
I was stage managing like the biggest stage ever. It was like I was running from right to left. That's right. I met you there. Okay. I forgot. Nice. but yeah. Welcome again.
Yeah, thank you.
It's your first time at Relate Radio?
Yeah,
also, I think.
First time here, yeah.
Nice, yes. Can you maybe introduce yourself also a little bit, who you are to the people listening?
Yeah. Well, I'm Basje is my own name, but Bastienne, I call myself as a DJ. I play techno and house sets and sometimes the stuff that's more in between. So a nice mix of the best of both. And I'm also one of the residents and curators of daycare events at Brett. We've been doing that for about 2 years now.
It's an event series from Brett.
Yeah, it's an event series that it's owned by Brett itself. But we, as resident DJs, were asked to bring new life to these events and curate the lineups. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and super fun to do. Also, it's I've really been enjoying the past 2 years. Yeah.
Nice, good to hear. And before we go into what you're doing now, can you tell us where it all began? Because I know you live in Amsterdam right now.
No, I just moved actually.
Oh, you just moved?
Yeah. I just moved at the start of the month. I've been living in Amsterdam for the past like 2.5 years. Oh. But originally I'm from Amersfoort.
Of course, yeah.
Province of Utrecht. It's where I was born and grew up, and it's also where I first found my connection to music and events. And for me, that really started with a group of friends that I started out organizing illegal raves in our hometown.
When was it? How long ago was it?
I was, I think, maybe 17 or 18 years old, so a while back already.
Damn.
Time goes fast. So I think that's maybe like at least 10 years, maybe 15 years ago. And at that point, I didn't DJ necessarily, but I really enjoyed organizing these parties together with friends. Just find like on the edges of town, find an empty field or a nice spot of grass in between some shaded places.
The times we could still do that.
Really. It's become more difficult now, but I have to say we had some good times. It usually took the police quite some time before they found us.
Nice.
So that's good, but yeah, that's kind of where my connection to events in the basis was formed. Really just loved running around with a roll of duct tape and trying to bring it all together and build up something nice together with friends and for a nice crowd. And somewhere along the way, I really got a nice friendship that originated at one of these raves with one of the DJs that was playing for us. And that was Mahabe at the time, and Han in particular. We kind of connected over some track that he put online. It's like Haruku Kuana, if I remember correctly. Okay. It's like Asian pop disco kind of a tune, and I really wanted to know, like, what is this? I've never heard this before, and somehow that's how a friendship started.
Nice.
But also where my interest in music grew.
Because at the raves, did you also program the DJs, or you were just organizing?
No. I really wasn't that aware of the entire musical programming and the actual DJs that were playing. For me, it was more about driving around speakers and
helping bringing the event to life. Nice.
Just the heavy lifting, and I always, like, my brain went wild when we tried to figure out, like, okay, we want to play a vinyl. We want to have DJs that can play a vinyl set, but in a random field somewhere, which is like hobbly and bobbly. So try to bring vinyl there. So we were like digging holes to get the what do you call it? The poten?
The things.
The things that hold the table up. Well, so we were digging holes to get the table steady in the ground, and then bring in like the big tiles to make it heavy and put down the vinyl. Well, that's like.
And you did it.
I did
a vinyl rave.
Well, we did the vinyl rave. It was steady, no skipping needles, so cool. It worked. Yeah, but at the start, that's what where I found my drive and what I really loved about doing those events. And then later, and mostly through that friendship, I think my real interest for music sparked. Hearing that track in like a genre that I'd never heard before made me want to try and find more like that. Like, apparently there's been music that I've never came across. And I did always listen to music and enjoy music in my own way. But this really sparked my interest in trying to actually actively dig for it.
Slowly became the DJ.
Well, exactly. Because then it kind of went pretty fast, actually, after that. And I guess a lot of DJs can identify with starting out playing like soulful disco house sets, stuff like that, because you can play at little bars and restaurants and small parties, stuff like that. But that's if you ask about like the start of
like the divining moments. If you look back, maybe you didn't even know then that was the moment, but now looking
I didn't.
back,
I think, but I guess that's kind of where my first interest was sparked. Yeah.
And you played house and disco also at the time. And when did you start playing techno? Did you already go to parties?
No, that was actually a bit later, because in our hometown, I really enjoyed the raves that we organized ourselves. But like I said, I wasn't really that aware of the music, actually. And in our hometown, I went to techno parties, but I was always like, is this, what is this music? It's so repetitive, like banging on boxes or something. Like, what? I didn't really get it until my first time going to the school. And my friends warned me, like, are you sure you don't really like techno? Like, do you really want to come? But I remember very vividly that was like a turning point for me, where it finally clicked. Devious One playing in the basement.
Sick,
that was it for me.
The good experience there, Sick.
And I always compare it to drinking wine. Like, you cannot get some cheap supermarket wine, drink it, and say, oh, I don't like wine. You have to develop a taste and try a lot of things before you can actually find something that you like and really learn how to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I guess, after hearing Devious One play in the basement, it kind of clicked for me. Like
Amsterdam got lots of places where you can discover lots of different kind of styles. So that's super nice, because Amersfoort and Amsterdam was really close for you to go to parties. Like after that, you went to more and more. Discovered. Nice.
Yeah, cool. I've been there a lot since.
And when did you bought your first DJ set?
I don't remember, actually. For me, it started out with just buying one vinyl player that I found at a thrift shop.
Nice.
It was like €12, I think. So that's, my first piece of gear, if you'd like to call it that.
It is.
And then, I think maybe after a year, because it went pretty fast. I enjoyed the digging so much, and I had like 1 or 2 DJ lessons by friends who just said like, "Hey, it's fun. Do you you like digging music? Do you want to do something with it? Come, I'll teach you." And maybe it took a year, I think, and then I wanted to try it at home and bought some gear. I bought the like 2 Pioneer CDJs, still have them, the old 2000s. Tried out a lot of different stuff since then.
Cool. And did you remember your first techno gig?
Yeah, I do. It was at Brett, actually.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I think maybe in 2019 I started working at Brett as a night manager during the events. And then I remember at one point there was the lockdown, and then like for a period of 2 weeks, the government decided like, oh, let's lift the lockdown and we can try doing parties again.
Dansen Jans or something.
Something like that. Like, let's try something. But in those 2 weeks that everything opened up again, I was working my shifts as a night manager in the weekend. And one of the DJs fell out on an early morning slot. So the general manager and person that made the program, Anke, she asked me like, "Hey, Basje, do you want to try?
Nice.
Do you want to play? Do you want to fill in?" And that was my first real techno set, I believe.
At Brett.
At Brett, playing in a club, with the early morning crowd. The ones that have been there all night. That's the best crowd you can get.
Super nice. Very cool. So talking about Brett and daycare, can you tell us more a bit about because you're programming and you're also a resident. Yeah. How did that evolve over time?
Yeah, well, daycare is a concept that has been at Brett a couple of years already, but it was started out by different people. At the time, it was Anke Straten, Lucas Stromer, and Dennis Rochat. They started out daycare as a party concept, but then COVID happened, the management changed at Brett, and the concept kind of died. It became quiet. And then we got asked to be residents at Brett like 2 years ago. We kind of thought like it would be nice to bring something back to Brett and actually bring daycare back to life. So we talked to the people who originally found that daycare, like, hey, would you be okay with us doing this and bringing new life to a concept that is maybe not ours, but that we feel that we have a heart for? And they were okay with that. And
nice.
That's what we've been doing for the past 2 years.
Nice. And there's an edition every month or something, or?
No, we have about 6 or 7 editions a year.
Oh, yeah. And then locals, right? Or is it also more international focus?
No, it's a mix of everything.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We do like to combine the locals with international, but not even necessarily international. We mostly just like to handpick the people that we would want to see playing in a club, that inspire us, that and I've said this before, and it's kind of hard to pick DJs like that, but people who we feel really enjoy playing in this kind of environment. and people that maybe want to try out something different. People who usually play techno and want to play house, or who play house and want to try techno, something like that.
But that's really an interesting vision, I think, because I didn't really hear this kind of vision often when creating an event. I think it's really nice. I think I heard some radio shows doing this, like giving DJ space to explore sounds and to maybe doing B2Bs they never did, or exploring. You also did some, I saw. I think it's really interesting. Like, was it also the original idea of daycare, or was it more your vision as the new residents?
No, that's I think more our vision that we wanted to bring to these events. Yeah,
cool.
Because it's something that I experience as a DJ as well. Not every gig is the most special gig ever, although people would like to present it like that online sometimes. But we can think about that, like how can we make this a special experience for someone. And it's a nice goal to strive for.
Yeah, cool. And about yourself, because you're also doing lots of different B2Bs, and also you're playing lots of different genres, I think. Yeah. Well, not lots of, but you're trying to push yourself maybe, or not even like giving yourself space to play lots of different things.
Yeah.
Did you already doing that in the beginning, or was it mostly techno in the beginning?
No, I went through a lot of phases and styles. Like I played jazz vinyls in restaurants. I played jungle drum and bass sets at illegal raves. I played techno in clubs. I played house at parties. And I always enjoyed giving myself the freedom to explore those inspirations and sounds that at that time really stimulated me. And like a lot of people said to me starting out and growing as a DJ, like you should really find one sound. So programmers and bookers, they want to know what to expect when they book you. And of course, in essence, that's true. I mean, you cannot show up to a techno lineup and play whatever you like. Like, no, go for a jazz.
If you know it's a techno party, you're not gonna play disco or something.
But in the process, as developing myself as an artist, I really wanted to give myself the space to really try everything and find what clicks for me and
that's nice.
How to bring it together, and kind of naturally it goes. It kind of tightens up like my own sound gets more specific along the way, because you do pick out the different elements that fit together. And
even if it's house or techno, you see like the red line or something.
Like that. Like whatever genre it is, that it's like my kind of tracks.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really a basje track.
I always like it when people say that, like, that's you got
nice.
that right.
Yeah, cool. And with preparing your sets, is it different when playing the different kind of genres, or how do you prepare for a set?
Like, do you mean, like, do I prepare differently for a house than when I
maybe
play not necessarily. I think in preparation for a set, I do like to just sit down, open up my laptop, open up Rekordbox, and just go through everything in my library. And I really like to think about the place that I'm playing, the place that I have on a lineup. Am I like a starting DJ, closing DJ, somewhere in the middle? What time of day is it? Is it during the day? Is the sun shining? Is it early morning when everybody's a bit like down on their energy, but still want to, you want to keep them going. So I really like thinking about that. And one of the things that I like to incorporate is trying to find a nice start, a nice middle, and a nice ending. And thinking about that usually kind of helps me to develop a story and like visualize how I want to see my set going for the night.
Nice. So there's a lot of space for interpretation at the moment also, but you also have like a structure.
Yeah.
Nice. It's like a bit of both.
Yeah,
both things.
Structured freedom. Maybe. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. And also, I think it's also important. I saw you playing last week, and how do you connect with the crowd? Is it something that's important to you, or are you more like?
I find it really hard to be actively aware of my connection with the crowd. It's more something that I subconsciously experience when I play a set. I mean, I do notice that when I'm more relaxed and engaging with a crowd, that it comes more naturally to look at people and be like, yeah.
Maybe at Brett it feels like home.
Yeah, it feels like home. It's my comfortable space. But I do also know that when I play my sets, I'm usually just focused in the zone, in my own bubble, and I love that. And I'm sometimes I even feel that maybe as a woman, people expect you a bit more to smile and dance a little. And
did you experience that kind of feedback in the past, or feedback like negative feedback?
Yeah. I mean, over the years, people have sometimes like said like, hey, maybe smile a bit more or look up a bit more, and there is some truth in that. But I wonder sometimes if that's something that people say to me because I'm like a woman, and in general we're expected to smile. And
but you can also ask to you, like, how are you in your zone? Like, why don't you smile in a way, like, not like you need to smile, like giving you advice. You're like, okay, I'm just in my zone playing. I think it's kind of rude.
But that's why these comments. It's always about the nuance and intention. How do people mean this? Because I do know that, and that's something that I've been asking myself a lot lately. What does it mean to be an artist and a performer? I mean, you are. Somewhat of a very public person in a way as an artist, and it kind of you kind of have to be a showman, maybe. But like I said, it's very nuanced. Like where does that stop? Where does that end?
You need to feel yourself as well.
And what does that concept mean for me as an artist? Am I that kind of artist? And is that what I want to be? And I always like challenging myself and reflect on stuff like that, like what comes naturally to me and what really doesn't. And if it doesn't come naturally to me, then just let the music speak for itself.
It's also a process, I think.
It's
over
a process,
time.
And I guess it's just something I've been asking myself lately. Like that artistship. What does it mean? What does it mean? How important is it? And it's something also like with social media these days. It's you have to be out there and create content and promote yourself. And I struggle with that sometimes.
Me too. A lot of DJs are.
It's definitely something.
Also, as a woman.
Also,
maybe even more.
It's not something that comes naturally to me. I'm not like an influencer type. I don't like taking up my phone and taking pictures of myself and stuff like that. But you kind of have to nowadays.
You heard it all the time. We have to, and I think for me, I found a way to. First, I really push myself to post every time I had a gig or before a gig, or like, and following the new highlights or the new trends. But now I'm getting so old, I don't even know what the trends are anymore. So I feel like I'm just gonna be myself and post when I want to post, I guess. But I feel exactly. You. It can be a struggle.
And then I look at people like Benny Rodriguez who just created an Instagram account like a couple months ago.
But he was a Facebook influencer, so kind of used it.
Yeah,
it's true. it's a process. Yeah, that's super true. Yeah.
And it's in the end, it's all about like finding a balance and finding what comes naturally to you, but also pushing yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it can also change, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it is something that you can also train and learn to do better. And it's there's no harm in trying to make your business also grow in that way. Yeah.
But do you also feel like, because if you put a lot of time in maybe the Instagram and all those kind of things, marketing wise, it also takes up time from the music part.
Definitely.
So let's also like choose your battles. What do you want to do? Maybe, you get more gigs or not. You don't even know. But I guess, I really also have the same feeling. So you're not alone. I think a lot of others also are, as DJs. I wanted to ask you: do you have maybe a future milestone or something exciting coming up you want to share with us?
Well, a future milestone for me,
or a past.
Well, that has been many, but
okay, sorry, one question at a
time. No, for me right now, my main focus in like making a new step is producing music and getting out something that's good enough to maybe even release it. And that's a whole new process in itself. Again, finding my own sound and developing your techniques. And
do you enjoy it?
I really love it.
That's nice. That's important.
Yeah,
cool.
It's very easy to open up Ableton and just lose like 2 days of your life in an instant.
Nice.
I really enjoy it, but it's also there's so much to learn, and I love learning it. So if I'm talking about milestones, that's something I really want to achieve. I hope in the next year. Yeah.
Nice. Did you learn it by yourself, or did you have classes as well?
No, I did learn it by myself. Like around. Yeah, I'm actually just realizing this, but around the time that I did the illegal raves when I was like 17, 18 years old, I really had a love for dubstep and drum and bass. I actually didn't download like an illegal cracked version of Ableton in that time.
The Spanish version or something.
And watching YouTube tutorials how to make like that wobbly,
so before even playing
before playing I did really like playing with Ableton and trying to figure out how to make my own dubstep beats. I lost everything.
I wanted to ask, did you still have it somewhere?
No, I have like this very random drum and bass remix somewhere on YouTube, but
nice. That's fun. Okay, cool. Wow, I'm super curious when it's gonna be. I'm gonna look at the socials. Cool. It's almost time for you to play, and maybe you already told us a lot about your career and what steps did you take, but do you also have maybe a tip or something for beginner DJs? Like what would be your tip for beginner DJ, how to make the first step maybe, or
I've been getting that question a lot for the past time by starting out DJs. I guess it's two different things for me. One thing that really helped me was just play a lot, play everywhere, and especially all the radio shows that I did starting out really helped me develop my sound, because you, on the one hand, get to get some content out there and let people hear what you're doing. On the other hand, it's like just making hours to practice and actually get to listen back to yourself and make it better every time. Play a lot and do a lot of those radio shows whenever you can. And the other is network is really important. You do have to like show yourself in the right places, and I think that it's really helpful if you like go to the clubs and the festivals that you want to play, really get an understanding of the dance floor, get an understanding of club music or festival music, because it's sometimes a little bit different maybe.
Explore that as well.
Well. really just dance your ass off yourself and see what works.
Maybe organize a rave here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, and be smart with your network, be authentic, say hi to the right people, like just be yourself, be out there, and that's
nice.
it's important. You cannot just stay at home and then hope all the gigs fall in your lap.
No.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you for
yeah,
this.
Thank you. Thanks for the questions.
No problem. You're gonna play for us.
Yep.
Nice. I'm super excited. Thanks again for this talk, for coming here. And I'm gonna give you a hug and wish you good luck with your DJ set.
Yeah, thank you.
sleep on Saturday night, and then stayed up all day Sunday, and then he stayed up all night Sunday night, and then to bed, and then today comes, and still not sleeping.